Welcome back to the English virtual class. Today, I'm going to take up the lesson, The Luncheon, written by William Somerset Maugham. William Somerset Maugham is a writer of short stories, novels, and plays, and was born in Paris on 25th January 1874. His parents died before he was 10, and he went back to England and was educated at King's School. Some of his famous works include Human Bondage, The Moon and the Sixpence, Cakes and Ale, The Razor's Edge, The Circle, Our Betters. Coming to the short summary of the story, this is a humorous narrative, and it is a slice of life story about Mom's luncheon date proposed to him by a woman whom he hopes is a supporter of his art. Slice of life means it is a realistic representation of everyday experiences in a book. The story is told through first person narration. That is, we find the story written with I, that is first person. Here, both the narrator and the writer are the same. Okay, so we find the story wherein both the narrator and also the writer being the same, that is Somerset Maugham. For this, we have an evidence in the first sentence itself, that is, I caught sight of her at the play. The story has been divided into three parts: present, past, and again present. The story opens with the author meeting a woman at the play. Okay, that is the present. When she inquires whether he remembers her, where he had seen her earlier, or when he had met her earlier, then he recalls the past. So the writer uses the flashback technique and he remembers the entire past that had happened 20 years before. And again, we get back to the present. So we find here the story begins with the narrator meeting one of his acquaintances in the theater. They had met after a long time, that is, after a span of 20 years, and the narrator found it hard to recognize her. The acquaintance, that is a lady, recognized him immediately and asked him if he remembered the last and first time they had met. She reminded him that he had asked her out for luncheon. The narrator quickly remembers what had happened and now he tells us the story. The narrator was living in Paris. He had a small apartment in a Latin quarter. He describes his income as just enough to keep body and soul together. One of his books were read by that lady and she wrote to him about it. He thanked her and in a few days received another letter from her saying that she was passing through Paris and would like to have a chat. The narrator took some time to decide where to take her for lunch. He finally considered Fayotte's, which was a restaurant where many French senators ate. And although it was a little expensive for our narrator, he was flattered by the lady's compliments and decided to cut down cost by drinking no coffee for the next 2 weeks. He had 80 gold francs to last him the month, and he assumed that a decent lunch wouldn't cost him more than 15 bucks. So he asked the lady out for luncheon at Fayotte's. The lady didn't turn out to be young, as the narrator had expected. She was in her 40s. The narrator described the lady as having more teeth than necessary, that is, talkative and unattractive. The narrator decided to listen more and talk less. The menu startled the narrator, as the prices were higher than what he had estimated. The lady reassured him by telling that she never had more than one item for lunch. The narrator generously said, "Please don't say that," but he dearly wished she ate only one item. She ordered salmon and caviar for herself, and the narrator ordered the cheapest dish on the menu, a mutton chop, for himself. All the while, the lady told him that meat was a heavy dish and that he should follow the example and eat only one dish, although she was clearly having more than one. After the meal, she ordered white champagne, which further sank the narrator's heart as he focused his thoughts on what the bill would sum up to. He only ordered water. The lady enjoyed the meal and kept talking about art, literature, and music. When the water when the waiter arrived with the bill, she waved him aside and wanted to know if they had any asparagus at the restaurant. The narrator wished the waiter would say no, but the waiter smiled and told them that they had large, tender, fresh, and miraculously juicy ones. The lady ordered asparagus and asked the narrator if he wanted to as well. The narrator refused and made the excuse that he didn't like asparagus. Our narrator was seized by panic. Now he began to think if he would have enough money to pay the bill. The asparagus arrived, and the narrator described the lady as shamelessly thrusting the asparagus down her throat. After the lunch, the narrator asked her if she wanted coffee, to which she replied, "Yes, just an ice cream and coffee." The narrator had stopped worrying about the cost now, and he ordered for both. After the luncheon, just when they were about to get up, the waiter appeared with a large basket of fresh peaches, much to the dismay of our narrator. The narrator refused for himself, but the lady took one peach. She kept thinking that the one mutton chop he had ruined his appetite. It was not the season of peaches, so the narrator had to pay extra. After the bill came, he had only 3 francs left, and that too he paid as a tip. After the luncheon, when it was time for them to leave, the lady advised him to follow her example and eat only one dish for lunch, which was ironical coming from someone like her who had just had a whole stomach full for lunch. The narrator replied by saying, "I will do better than that. I will eat only for dinner tonight." The lady called him a humorist. This was again ironical because the narrator really meant it. He did not have a single penny in his pocket and he had the whole month left. This brings us back to the present time where the narrator and the lady are meeting after 20 long years, that is, the part 3, the present. The narrator tells us that he had had his revenge for the luncheon ordeal. How did he have his revenge? The lady weighed now 21 stones, nearly 295 pounds, that is equal to 130 kgs. Okay, and narrator observed this result with a pardonable sense of achievement. Then coming to the theme of the story, we understand that it is very much necessary to say no whenever it is necessary. Okay, so he couldn't say no to the invitation of the lady and finally had to become the victim. People receive the impact of their own behavior. This is with reference to the lady, how she had troubled the writer when he was just, started his career and he had not established and he was just, had a limited amount of money with him. And now, after 20 years, she had to face the karma. Now she is almost more than 130 kgs. Okay, so you get back whatever you do. Okay, then the last one, when one tries to covet small gains, one may suffer a great loss. So when you want to just covet small gains, that finally it is going to result to a great loss. Okay, with this, I'm going to end this lesson, children. We will meet you again in my next virtual class. Till then, goodbye.